104.1 KRBE. Let's get started. It's the Roula and Ryan Show.
Wake up, fool!
Hey, wake up!
It's about to get all stupid up in here!
Right here.
Featuring Eric.
Eric, he is a bad, bad man.
Special K.
The big red K.
Are you threatening me?
I'm waiting for you.
And Sam.
I am a wuss! I am a wuss!
You've waited long enough. How the heck do you pronounce this woman's name?
Roula. And
Ding dong.
Ryan. 104.1 KRBE. Good morning, everybody.
Houston, Texas. It's Wednesday, May 29th of 2024, and it's the whole gang, Roula, Ryan, Eric, Social K, and Sam at the 6:01 a.m. moment in time.
Yes.
Let's wield the power of 6 a.m. I don't know. Some people feel like it's like an accomplishment to be up this early and be awake and getting stuff done. Others are like, oh, God, get me through it, Roula and Ryan show.
My daughter keeps wanting me to wake her up at 5 when I leave
Why?
to study.
Finals.
Yeah. I'm like, you sure? I don't know if that's
pressure.
good. but-
Well, that's better than trying to stay up late and falling asleep. And you know, the fastest way to fall asleep is reading a chemistry book.
Oh, for sure.
yeah.
Oh, my God.
Try to memorize
How many
it.
times would I fall asleep? Like, oh, God, I'm asleep holding my chemistry book.
I mean, I think it's great that she's like
Cares.
really responsible and
Yeah.
doing the work, but it's also kind of sad that there's so much pressure put on these kids.
It was the same pressure we had. We said it's
Yeah.
fine.
I think
What's
no,
the
I think
difference?
it's way
I
worse.
just didn't care.
It's way
It's
worse
worse
now.
if your parents put pressure on you.
What? My
Well,
parents
I
put
don't know.
pressure on
Here's
me.
where I think the pressure comes into play, where I don't
there's
think
a
it
lot
played as
more
much for
pressure.
us. I went to like a regular old Sunday service, and they were doing we're going to honor the graduates. Like if you're a high school or college senior, your parents submitted your name that you graduate this year just to recognize you. When that happened to me when I was 18, they just read my name. Roula Christie, she graduated St. Thomas Episcopal. That was it. Dude, when I went to church and they did that this year, they're like, Samantha Lee, she is graduating from Jones High School. She is a Merit Scholarship finalist. She has a 4.0. She has been accepted into the blah, blah, blah. And her greatest accomplishment is.
Oh, wow,
and
they
I was
give
like,
a
oh
whole-
my God, that is so much pressure. I
didn't
would
get
have been
anything.
like, how about my greatest accomplishment is graduating? How about just that? That's the
Yeah.
greatest accomplishment.
I think Ryan's right, though, because like,
There's more pressure
if
in
their
this
math
generation.
is harder, like the 7th grade math we had is what they're doing in 2nd or 3rd grade now.
Yes,
College
it
is harder to get into.
It absolutely is. I told
And
you
now these
before,
kids wear shirts at school. The college,
the college that they plan on going
that's
to.
pressure if you don't, because a lot of
We
kids
did
don't
that in our high
wanna
school
go that way.
too.
But
Yeah,
there's
that's
more,
pressure. But you
What?
graduated like 10 years ago.
Wait, you're talking about Eric just wearing the school's name that you like?
I'm saying
Anybody
that's
can wear that.
No,
Yeah.
I'm saying that
got into.
there's a day.
Oh, but
that
you got
every
into
kid
it.
has to wear that shirt.
Oh, of where
Yeah.
they're going.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
that
some
is
kids,
pressure.
they're like, screw that. I don't want to go that way. Like, I want to do.
Bart Simpson.
Yeah.
I would just wear a shirt just to get people to shut up and ignore me. I'd be like, oh, yes, that's where I'm going.
Like it just showed up on my time hop. It just showed up on my time hop. My daughter graduated high school. I can't believe it's been 6 years now. She's a young adult working out in L.A., but I just remember that senior year, how miserable she was. So much work getting into the colleges and doing all
I
that
thought
stuff.
it was junior year.
Well,
that
they
makes you
started.
so
They
crazy.
started in junior, but she
Yeah,
said
juniors would get you.
She said the senior year was like the least enjoyable. It
Because-
was just
because
so
some
much
kids-
pressure, traveling all over the place, trying to look at colleges.
Maybe the first semester, because the second semester it's already
Everyone
done.
already knows.
Yeah.
Eric, remember we went to St. Thomas for the reunion with your wife, and it was like October or something, and most of those kids in senior year of October. I mean, school starts like in basically end of August. They had that bulletin board with everyone's acceptance letters of where they're
Yeah.
going. And I was like, whoa,
Oh,
they're
we
putting
didn't
that
have
up on
that.
a bulletin board?
Pretty much your
showing it off?
sophomore and junior year is what sets
Yes,
you up, right?
yes.
I just remember that senior year, she got accepted into like 34 different colleges. So we were traveling all over, like between my ex-wife and I, both of us, we traveled to all these different towns across America. And it was just a lot of pressure.
The ones I traveled to, I felt like they were sad, and I felt like I didn't have a future anymore because these colleges were just so drab and not appealing. And it wasn't until Texas A&M Maritime in Galveston, Texas,
Like the sun
I was
came
like,
up?
Sounded cool and
the sun
fancy and like, oh, look
literally
at me where I'm
came out
going.
over the palm trees.
was
I
it all
like,
you'd hoped it would be?
No, but still, it was very appealing, and everyone there was so nice, and I'm sure they're still so very nice. It's just that the fellas that I went to school with in the 90s They're mean. They're mean to me. They're saying things and making me feel bad.
That sucks.
That is terrible how, like...
You got to watch. And I hated looking over my shoulder. Like, are they going to kick my ass today?
That's no way to live. Oh, my God. I'm sorry.
Or is it just demerits on the ship? I'm going to have to scrape paint and whatnot.
How about the leaders, like the adults?
They were the worst.
Did they turn a blind? Did they turn a blind eye to it, or they were doing it as well?
I thought maybe they were like people mature and they would like.
No, when you say leaders, adults. See, I was in the Corps Cadets, so my leaders were the Corps captains and the XOs and whatnot. So I didn't really have very much interaction with adults other than when we went out to sea, and then things got a little bit different because you had the real adults who were actually captains. Captain Haupt, he was awesome,
and you had to count on each other, right?
Yeah, we really did, but still, you'd get those side eyes in when you're passing each other on deck.
You ever felt like you were going to die? Like
yes, I felt like I was going to die because of the storms.
That's what I'm saying when you got there in the middle.
Because the ship was rolling to the side where you had to walk on the walls for a little while. But then it flips over and you walk on the other wall.
Oh wow!
And so
you didn't get seasick?
I don't think I did. I think it was more like an adventure. Like, oh, here we go again. Y'all imagine trying to eat with the ship rolling
side
far over the side, left and right, and you would have
food
to,
on the table go sliding from side to side.
It would, unless you got a napkin and you wet it, and you put your plate on top of that napkin, and it would hold it right there. But
what
you
about
had
the food falling off the plate.
No, you had to hold your drink with one hand and eat with the other hand quickly. Now
that
we had
explains
these little...
why you eat like that. Still.
Yeah, quickly.
Kevin eats like he just got out of jail.
I thought he was in prison. I thought maybe he did a few years.
It's like eat meat. There's food on your face.
Garden is food. Hey,
But don't let me turn you away from Texas A&M Maritime. They have an incredible program to become an officer at sea, which is what I was trying to do.
And look at you. You can
money.
turn into a DJ.
Yes. University of Houston, go Cougs.
Hey, I got to give a shout out to everybody in Montgomery County right now that is actually listening to us sitting there with no power. Still about 100,000 people without power. Those storms yesterday.
Who didn't have PTSD from that one? Like,
that was rough.
again.
Oh, I was under the stairs once more in the closet.
Oh, man.
Oh, God, here we go again.
And you know what was bad yesterday? So they had power outage yesterday. There were elections going on. They said more than a dozen vote centers lost power yesterday. So those people, their vote just didn't even get cast. But there were winds of 75 miles per hour at Bush Airport and hail the size of golf balls.
Does that mean those people have to go back and vote? You have to give more on that. If people lost power at the voting centers, what does that mean? They
It
just
means
couldn't vote.
they just couldn't vote.
In that moment.
They couldn't vote in that
If
moment.
you were there in that moment, but if you voted earlier, it counted.
Right, it went into the system.
Just double checking that because somebody's going to hear that and panic. Like, wait, what? Do I have to get a redo? Yesterday was pretty scary because the alert came out. I think it was towards the end of the show. We saw Alita Loresca, ABC 13 alert about today, 1 to 5, we're going to have, and she had a grid of the percentages of hail, of wind, of tornado, rain. It's
Once
like,
again, why are we getting the heads up like an hour before it happens? Like,
No, it
that
got it at
seems to be
9.
the latest thing.
They didn't say it.
They said we're going to get some rains, but we didn't say like tornado strength.
No, that's what I just said at 9 when we were on the air. I
Yeah.
got that grid from Alita.
But still,
So
that was like
popped up my
only-
truck. Even my truck has just pops up on the screen.
Yeah.
But still, that was only like a couple
On your
hours before it
screen?
happened.
Yeah.
I heard that because of our the way that the weather is right now, they can't predict it any earlier. That everything has been so crazy and chaotic that they can't predict it any earlier, and they're trying to give us the best updates. So
I'm glad it
we got
ended-
an update.
My area ended by 3, so I could pick my daughter up.
That yeah.
You got to wait in those
I was
lines
gonna say I was
forever to
stuck with
back up.
Santiago
You're stuck
from
for like
daycare.
an hour and a half, right?
Yeah, because it was really crazy over by our work, I-10.
All the
and
people trying to, at least when they
I
went
was
home by 5 o'clock, the water was kind of going down because Westheimer. That's what made me buy a truck. I got stuck on Westheimer like 4 years ago, 2019 or 20.
Oh, yeah.
And that's
My neighborhood
I'm
was
never again will I be
so
low.
flooded. The streets, but my street was perfectly fine. But all the neighboring ones, I was like, oh my gosh! And then there was a fire truck behind me, and I'm trying to move over, and they just keep laying on their horn. And I was like, I'm not flooding out my car. Like they could go
They
over.
wanted you
and they
to try and
wouldn't.
drive through it.
The wake was going to flood you out.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in the Jeep, and I'm like, you guys can go. Like I gave them plenty of space, and I was like, they're gonna hate me, but you're gonna flood out my car. car. I already
around.
moved over, and they wouldn't move around.
What did you end up doing?
I had to just keep inching, and I was like, please just go around me. Please just go around me.
Oh, man, I'll go
Because
real
the
slow.
waves were like insane. Like there was a Lexus car, you couldn't even see their tires anymore. I was like, why are you going
that
through
car
this?
is
Why?
totaled
Yeah.
then.
Pull it off. Pull over. To
I
the
have no
side.
idea why. They just kept going.
One person
Insane.
texted that they are at work and there's no power again. I'm so over this. My neighborhood
Oh, gosh.
little group was like, "Oh no, I just replenished my fridge. Oh no,
Not
I
again.
hope we. I just
Exactly what
got
I
my
thought.
fridge back."
Actually,
Yes.
I found a little information about that. If your food goes bad in your fridge, you might be able to get up to $500 to replace it. What you want to do is check with your homeowners or renter's insurance policy, and you may be covered for up to $500 to replace it. So contact your insurance. If you're not covered for food spoilage, you can check your home warranty.
That's that good insurance.
Or you can apply to FEMA. Just go to FEMA.com.
I just got denied from my main insurance because I don't know why, because they're bad. And then FEMA also denied me as well.
For what? What happened to your house last week?
Because I had $2,500 worth of roof damage.
Didn't someone text that FEMA like won't help you if you have insurance or something?
Yeah, that's
Right.
what I read
FEMA
too.
was like,
That's what
no,
somebody
you have
texted.
insurance.
Right.
Insurance was like, nah.
Not
We're
good
not
now.
going
It
to
was-
pay for that.
It was like that.
That's not hard.
So
enough
you're
for
like
me.
better off not having insurance and then have FEMA? No.
Ooh, I don't know.
Hell no.
We're still going through the whole process with my
Wait,
house.
Someone also said they're a counselor and it's all about your GPA from 9th to 11th.
Yeah, to get
Senior
you into
doesn't
college.
matter at all.
College acceptance
I mean,
based on your
wow.
Still
GPA.
got
from
value, you
9
still
to
got to
11.
show up, but
Right.
Right, you're already
Good.
applying for college by then.
Right, by 11th. And then other texters are telling us voting centers have backup generators. They last a minimum of 4 hours and can last up to 6 hours by the time they get the replacement generator. So with those backup batteries, there shouldn't be any problem with those votes. So that if you did cast a vote yesterday, it should have gone through. Another person said their hour and 20-minute commute to get home yesterday from downtown was nuts
Yep.
because of the weather. And then Kevin, one texter's dad, used to work in the North Sea and had to deal with rolling seas on the boat he was in. They had metal tables in the canteen, so he super glued magnets to his own plates, bowls, and cups so he could eat without his food going flying.
That's a great idea.
but the liquid in the cup is still
Yes,
going to lean.
Well, that day
Yeah,
you
but
just,
that's pretty ingenious.
no soup that day.
No, you just fill it up. No, you fill it up halfway.
Right,
Was the
there's
trick.
room to not spill. That's a good idea.
That's meatloaf day.
You need sippy cups.
Heavy.
Yeah.
Sippy cups.
Yeah, the tumblers now. You can have all the Stanleys.
That's
Exactly.
true.
I know, we do
We
have
had
those.
we
So
had
Stanleys
these
are top heavy though. They'll fall.
We had these little braces that slid up on the ends of the table. So if your plate, allegedly, if your plate hit it, was supposed to stop. What it really did is, and when we didn't tell the freshmen, your plate would hit it and then launch
so the back
into
part.
your face.
The back part.
Yes, it backfired. I don't know why they built those stupid things on those tables.
Today on the Roula and Ryan Show, we are going to help somebody get closure. That's where you have lost touch with someone and they just either are ignoring you, ghosting you, or you just lost track of them. At 7:20, we're going to put somebody together with a person that has been long lost. Coming up next in Scoop. I guess there is proof that we are still watching the alphabet networks of television, not just streaming, because of what the numbers are showing us. But there's an asterisk on those numbers. We'll explain if you thought TV was dead. Apparently it's alive, but only on certain days of the week.
Life support.
Here's your weather for today. Is it going to rain or not?
It does look like it'll rain, but it'll be in the early evening. It's a high of 88 today. Right now, 75 degrees and 612 on the Roula and Ryan Show.
Proud to present Roula and Ryan's Celebrity Scoop on 104.1 KRBE.
Okay, my friends, let me just get through the numbers before I get to this Drew Barrymore story because it's pretty interesting. Okay, so there were some stats revealed about how we watch television. And, you know, people are saying, oh, I don't watch TV anymore. I just watch Netflix or I watch Hulu or I watch Amazon Prime. I'm
Some
watching
people
whatever.
cut the cord. Some people just pick up one or two streaming
The
services.
2023 to 2024 TV season has been logged and recorded, and the most watched series all came, let's see, in the top 5, you've got 4 of them from the Alphabet Networks. That's what ABC, NBC, CBS. Actually, most of the top 10. The whole top 10 except for one. Only third place was Prime Video. Everything else was CBS, NBC. The most watched network of the year was CBS. Is that because of Young
Really?
Sheldon?
Oh, yeah. Young Sheldon just had its finale.
I know, but that show
else
was
they
Keep
have?
Holding,
Series
Blue
finale.
Bloods, Hold It On, Price is Right.
What's that one with the guy from This Is Us or Last of Us? What's that show you guys used to watch?
This is us.
This Is
yeah.
Us. He was like the good-looking brother.
Justin Hartley.
Milo?
Oh, yeah, he's on
Tracker or
Tracker or
something?
something? I think
Oh,
my
that.
parents watch that.
And there's like
Yeah.
that. There's
That
like,
guy, okay.
That one where they fight fires in the woods.
Chicago. Oh,
County Fire. Or,
Yes.
Well, they have Chicago Fire,
Fire in the
New
Woods.
York.
I don't know
mean,
what's
they have
called.
Chicago
There's another
Fire,
one, though.
PD, and something else. They have all
Mom,
the
you're
Chicago.
listening.
I always see them
Text me.
on-
He
That's
watches
NBC.
all those.
Is that NBC or CBS?
I just know that because we're watching football.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see the
And
commercials
they show the
for it.
commercials for like something fire in the woods. I don't know what this
it
is.
is.
Well, the top 3 spots got 12 million viewers, almost 12 million viewers, and then almost 20 million viewers. And what would that be? It would be football.
Football.
Yeah.
Thursday Night Football was the third most watched thing in America. Then Monday Night Football, but Sunday Night Football was the number one most watched show of the year.
How many people?
19.4 million, almost 20 million people watching Sunday Night Football.
Wow.
And this is why it doesn't matter how much research there is on how bad this is for humans to be tackling each other like this. There'll always be somebody who's going to have to play.
Yeah, but look at the streaming services are getting in on this. I believe.
Yeah, because Prime Video has Thursday Night Football, which is so annoying because you cannot channel surf. You cannot. You have to jump out of the app to go into something else. It's
I don't
annoying.
hate it.
I was
I
gonna
don't
say-
hate it. Use your phone.
The Texans are playing on Christmas, and that game is going to be on Netflix.
But I like to, you're right, Roula, I like to go back and forth and see other things happening. Mm-hmm. Especially if, like, there's another sport going on.
If
like
it's
baseball or
playoff
basketball.
time, Sam, and there are
Yeah.
like two games on two different channels, and you want to go to the AFC game versus the NFC game, but one is on Apple TV and the other one's on Fox, you're like, oh, I cannot.
Like last night, I was
I
watching
just
the Mavs
stay
play
on one.
Minnesota. Mavs were going to sweep for the sweep, and then I was watching the Astros.
Did they win, by the way? I didn't watch.
Mavs lost by
Oh, wow.
4.
So they're
So
going to game
going
5 now.
Yep, and then I was watching the Astros, but I was going back and forth.
Flipping back and forth.
'Cause I don't like, sit there
How
for commercials.
spoiled are we, though, that we're complaining about, we've got to leave the app?
Well, yeah, it's
it's a
annoying.
pain in the ass.
It's
I
annoying.
mean-
Because once you're out, then you want to get back in. It takes too long, and then sometimes
You don't
it
watch
circles.
sports.
Pain in the butt
Yeah.
was when I was a kid and we didn't have a remote. And you had to turn to actual TV.
Yeah, but you had to do it. Parents didn't have to do it.
No, I know. We were
now
the
you
remote.
have to press a couple buttons.
Yeah, exactly.
I think because I
We were
don't
the
have
remote.
that issue because I just stay on the app. I don't find it as
Because
annoying.
you're afraid to leave it.
I just,
like,
yeah.
kicked off.
I'm just
Well,
like,
if it
I'm
doesn't
just
work
gonna
anymore
stay
because
on
your
here.
password expired because you're stealing it.
But
I'm
Eric,
just gonna
what
stay
you
here.
do? Don't you have a laptop or an iPad? You could watch, your sports
Is that the
on
same?
that
It's not the
I'm not
same.
putting everything on my couch.
No. it's
Where
not
my
the
chips
same.
and beer going to go?
in your stomach.
Okay, top shows are 60 Minutes for CBS, then Blue Bloods, CBS, then Chicago Fire, NBC, FBI on CBS, Young Sheldon, CBS, NCIS, CBS, Tracker, CBS,
Oh, there's Tracker.
Thursday Night Football, Prime Video, Monday Night Football, ABC, Sunday Night Football, NBC. That's how they...
Outside of sports,
That's how
I've
we
never
got that.
seen any of those shows.
Tracker was good. What made me watch Tracker? Did that bleed into some playoff football game or something, and that's why I watched the first episode?
Had to be.
It
Yeah.
must have been post something national that was big, and that's why I watched him.
Maybe after the Super Bowl or something?
And was it after the Super Bowl?
I don't know.
I don't remember,
Yeah,
but
didn't
anyway,
Romo
it
do
was
the
fine.
Super Bowl this year?
Who stays awake after the Super Bowl?
Well, it's early.
No,
I
right
just
now
go
it's
do other
early.
things. But
It's usually
go to
done by
work.
8:30.
Yeah, but
Or
I
9.
start drinking at
That's true.
Oh.
11:30.
I'm telling you,
10:30 a.m.
we need to have a national holiday the day after Super Bowl. Think how much more money America would make.
Well, there's good if they do it right. They want to add more games, do certain things. President's Day would be the Super Bowl weekend.
Oh, that'd be perfect.
So most people had that Monday off.
Right, so you can just
It'd
hang
work
out.
Blow it out hard.
So Drew Barrymore has been working on something for 28 years, almost 30 years. And it was one of the first things that when she started her production company, Flower Productions, this is the first thing she wanted to produce, and it still hasn't happened. She hopes to realize this dream. Obviously, everyone has seen The Wizard of Oz. I mean, there's very few people who have not seen The Wizard of Oz. Even if you've never seen Wizard of Oz, you know what it's about. Dorothy and Glinda the Good Witch and the Wicked Witch of the West.
It's amazing that
the
a
Scarecrow
movie
and the Tin Man.
from 1939 is still beloved by people of this generation.
I mean, people do themes of that. I've seen galas being themed, Wizard of Oz themes and things like that. So Wicked is very well known on Broadway. Wicked is coming out in Thanksgiving, a major motion picture. A lot of people like Wicked. And it's about the story of how the Wicked Witch of the West and Glinda the Good Witch were friends and then they went their separate ways. Drew Barrymore, 28 years ago, developed a script called Surrender Dorothy. And she really wanted this to become the plot involving the Wicked Witch of the West actually surviving after being melted by the water instead of melting down into nothing, escaping Oz and coming to modern day New York in search of the ruby slippers, which are now in the possession of Dorothy.
But then that one movie came out with Amy Adams.
Oh, yeah.
Enchanted.
Yeah.
That was
where
cute.
she
Probably
shows
screwed
up.
everything up for her. It's like, oh, darn it, that was my angle.
But that wasn't a Wizard of Oz theme, but yes,
No,
it was
but
where she
it's-
comes to New York City
yeah,
modern
coming
day.
back, yeah.
So the person who has the ruby slippers is not the Dorothy you know from Wizard of Oz original. It's the great-great-granddaughter of Dorothy, who is also her namesake, Dorothy. And she was trying to get this off the...
But I don't think Dorothy
To launch
came
it?
back with the ruby red. She clicked her heels, and then she woke up from a dream.
It's
in
make
black
believe,
and
Ryan.
white.
It's make believe. You can do whatever you want.
I think
You
I've
can
seen
do
that whole
whatever you
movie all the
want.
way through, right?
You've never seen The
I'm
Wizard
sure I
of
saw it
Oz.
as a kid, but then I've seen pieces of it. Like,
Yeah, for
Really?
sure.
Have you seen the whole thing through?
No, I don't
You
think
haven't?
so.
The
No, I
monkeys will
get
give you
bored.
nightmares.
yeah, the monkeys
Yeah.
scared
The
me.
monkeys will give you
They
nightmares.
will. They say this would have been a
Start
sequel to the
singing.
original movie because the Ruby
Right.
Slippers are not part of the Oz books. In the books, the slippers were silver, but MGM changed them for the movie so they would pop when it was Technicolor. The Ruby Slippers are copyrighted, so if any studio were to use them in any adaptation, they would be sued.
Unless
After
they
that
paid.
announcement, the project went dormant until 2010. So 2002, 2010. Then it was announced that Drew would now direct Surrender Dorothy with a young actor portraying Dorothy. Surrender Dorothy then never got made. Drew still wants to make this movie, saying, as a director, I would give anything to make this movie because it's all about the production and the money and who greenlights it. I mean, what was that? Dallas Buyers Club was rejected 300 times before it got made, and then Matthew McConaughey and Jared Leto won their Oscars.
See, that was able to be
300
made
times.
because
300.
it was
I'd
an
give up.
original story. But when you're trying to license characters from something that is owned by somebody else,
She just needs to find one of those rich Saudi prince type guys
Have
Good
tons of
finance.
money.
that loved like E.T. or loved Charlie's Angels or something that she
Yeah,
was in.
yeah,
and then,
yeah.
Like, here's $300 million. Go
believe it
ahead.
or
Yeah,
not,
you're
that
right.
does happen. The last Star Trek movie they made, if you look at the opening credits, it's Alibaba Productions.
Yeah, if you
I
can get-
mean,
Didn't that happen? I learned
got
this
the
from The
money.
Crown, Kevin. Didn't that happen with Dodi Al-Fayed's dad? He financed that movie. It won an Oscar for the song. Dun, 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 dun,
Chariots of Fire?
Dun. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Where they're
that's
running?
the name of it. Yeah.
that's Chariots of Fire.
So he financed that.
1981.
They won an Oscar for that.
I forgot about that part.
Yeah, in The Crown?
Yes.
It's Dodi Al-Fayed is like, Dad, I'm going to make this movie.
Because Star Trek came from the Desi Studios, right?
no, the
Desilu?
original. Lucille Ball is responsible for
Yeah.
Star Trek.
Yeah.
The original back in the 60s.
What was that studio?
Desilu.
Desilu Studios.
By the way, Tracker did. It
Come
was
on, after
the
Super Bowl?
That's
Okay, that's
what
when I saw it.
People said it's good, and it was, what was it called? Something Country. Oh my God, I lost all the. They were naming the fire show.
Oh, the fire
What
show.
the hell is it?
The
Fire
firefighters in the
Country.
woods.
Fire Country. But I
It's
guess they're
about
What's Fire
Firefighters.
Country about?
they're convicts that are
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Fire
And then I
Country.
think if they do something, I only watched one episode when I was up in Pennsylvania with my family.
And did you like?
I mean,
probably
I'm
hard to
not
get
going to
into.
stream it, but it was fine. It was, I
bet
think I fell asleep.
If it goes on Netflix, it'd be number one. It's like
Absolutely.
there's one called Heels. It's Heelz. They're like wrestlers. It's a wrestling like family. It did 2 seasons on Stars, and then
It died,
it died because
and then
of,
went to streaming.
But
it's
sometimes
going to Netflix now, and it'll probably be a hit. If it is, then they have it picked up for a third.
What about Tires? Anybody watching that? I keep
Yeah,
seeing the
that's done
tile
well.
for Tires.
What's his name?
No.
The guy that was on SNL?
I just forgot the comedian's name. Shane Gillis.
Gillis, yeah. It's about these
Supposed to be
3
funny.
guys that run this tire shop, and
Oh,
they're just a
I
bunch
have
of
seen that
screw
pop
offs.
up on
It got
my
picked
Netflix.
up for another season already.
Did it?
After less than
Yeah,
a week.
they're a bunch of screw offs, and they're just not even
I'm still
running the
watching
place
The
right.
Rookie. I know
You're
everything.
still the rookie?
The Rookie. How are they still
Is that on
rookies?
ABC?
Like,
Is that a
how
cop
are
on
they,
ABC?
how are they
I just
rookies
watched it on
like 8
Hulu.
years in?
See who does it?
Because
Makes you-
it's just so good.
Like a
Because
rookie
you can
means
binge
you're
that,
new
Sam?
at it.
Boot! Get in the shop!
Are you binging that? That's how you're watching it?
Yes.
Or are you waiting every week for it? Wow.
I
Well, at
love
least
Plus, you want to get into something that has like 7 seasons.
Even if
Yeah.
Mark's beside me, I'm like, "Are you going to be on your phone and you're watching TV?" He's like, "On my phone." I'm like, "Yes," and then I just put it on and I don't.
What's the theme song? Like, how's that go?
Is there one?
Or
I
you just
don't
hit
know. Yeah, it's just like it goes straight into it.
Oh, wait. And one text has a great idea for the Drew Barrymore surrendering Dorothy. Who's going to finance that? Her BFF, Adam Sandler.
Oh,
He does
he's
all
got
his
the
own
money.
projects.
Oh,
Yeah.
true.
That's a great idea, Texter.
Happy-
yes.
what's
Adam
his-
Sandler could finance that
Happy
and star in
Madison
it with her.
Productions.
Why not? All right, coming up next, we're going around the table.
I have a story about how you can get more food at Chipotle. Your portions don't seem that big. I got a hack for you. It's
What do you
called,
mean doesn't seem that big? They can barely roll that
it's
thing
called
into a
Chipotle
burrito.
shaming. You can shame them this
You
certain
call it
way.
Chipotle?
Awkward.
Chipotle.
It's subtle shaming.
I call it like you can do salada shaming. There's all kinds of shaming we can do and make.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
get
I
bigger
only bought
orders.
one salad. Why is it $24?
For a bowl of lettuce.
Those leaves are
How
expensive.
would shaming convince someone to give you more?
This will
We're
work.
going to find out next.
We're gonna try it.
on the Rule and Ryan Show. Eric gets to go first, and I just want to preface that based on what you're about to say, I think we need to find a new wording for this technique.
Oh.
Shaming, I don't think is the right word. I don't know.
I think that's what they're doing. These people on.
I feel like it's like peer pressure.
It's reverse psychology.
Yeah.
Well,
I
lay it
guess.
on us. What is it?
It's basically it's a hack for Chipotle customers to get bigger portions. Some people complain that
They're a
last
little
few
stingy.
years.
They're a little stingy with that spoonful.
When I go to Salada, sometimes I see that. I'm like, come on, that little spoon, you could put an extra chicken.
Because they have like a
piece on
measuring
there.
cup. They're supposed to scoop like the
one
chicken or the shrimp or
It's
the
like,
quinoa.
and if you want
salada.
more, you got to pay double the meat.
Basically, this is going all over TikTok. That's where I saw it. And then some of my buddies started talking about it. They swear by this. All you have to do is take out your phone when they're preparing your meal and just record them. Like maybe pretend you could even pretend like you're a blogger. Like, hey, I'm so excited! I'm going to try this new. I haven't
I'm here
tried
at Chipotle
this.
for the al pastor.
And you put the phone on the people, and then
So
they feel
annoying.
that pressure. They're going to feel shamed into.
But you have to be jovial. You have to be jovial.
Yeah, you
like,
can't be like,
oh my God, come on.
Not a Karen.
Chuck,
You're not a
make sure
Karen.
you get me a
Really?
good spoonful.
That's all you're giving me?
Yeah, you don't be a Karen
can't
and
do
be
that.
a jerk like that. Just
Right, you have to be real jovial.
I think Chipotle works more because I feel like they're younger workers.
Yeah.
Like when I go there, they seem like they're in their 20s.
You don't want to be known as the douche that's really stingy.
And then it's not they pay for it. They're just like, okay, here's some extra chicken.
So what should we call this? Because I don't think because you're not supposed to be shaming them.
It's guilty.
Because it's not even guilty. It's reverse
I think it
psychology.
is.
They're like propping them up, like, "Oh, Eric, come on, you got that spoonful of chicken. Give me a little extra."
In a way.
like that.
But
It's
you
like
know this-
cheerleading.
You know what it is? It's socially blackmailing them to do the right thing.
I mean,
Well, what's the right thing?
But they have a
The
rule.
right
No, the
thing to
right
give
thing
you
is
a
for them to
fair
give you.
portion.
No, the right thing is, according to their training, they're supposed to give you what's in that little
I noticed
measuring
my rice
cup
portion.
container.
Right.
My rice portion has not been as big as it used to be.
Yeah, they all
The last
all
two
these
times I
restaurants,
went, because I always get the bowl. I never get the
Same.
burrito.
they all make them smaller, thinking that we're not going to pick up. I've noticed, like, I love Papacitos.
Shrinkflation.
It is my favorite. But Papacitos tortillas got smaller. They got a lot smaller.
I have not
Oh,
noticed
that's
that.
very accusational.
You gonna
No,
accuse
I mean,
them?
I'm just saying.
That's Ryan Chase, by the way. We love you.
I
We love
ate
you
there
guys.
2 days
Papacitos,
ago.
you got my heart.
I
Papacitos.
still love you guys to death.
But you're
my
accusing them
favorite.
of having smaller. Do you know for a fact?
I know for a fact it was smaller the other night when I ate.
Do you know for a fact?
Maybe they saw you coming.
Do you have an old tortilla that
Maybe
you,
they're offering
you
us
put right
portion
next to
size,
the
guys.
the one that you're claiming is smaller?
Lunch
is
menu?
that how you know for a
All right,
fact?
texters,
'Cause
if
you
you've
saved
eaten
an
there
old
recently, is
tortilla?
there anybody else
He
that
just
get my
ignores
back?
it. He ignores the accuse, and then you just walk away.
Ryan, the better way to say it is,
You're gonna get in trouble.
I'm wondering if it's smaller. Is it just me or is it smaller? You're saying they got smaller. Well, I don't know that for real.
Sandbag.
It definitely was smaller than
That's
what
what
I
I
was
call
used to.
sandbagging.
yeah.
I'm
So
sandbagging.
that's the
instead
definition of
shaming.
that. And you guys just gave me an example. Thank you so much for that. I learned so much from the Roula and Ryan show.
So somebody texted Eric, Chipotle has done this as a marketing move to sell more bowls. They already posted a TikTok about it, about the video of doing the cheerleading / what they're calling shaming. I
Yeah,
don't-
it's all over. Everyone's doing it, and they're getting more stuff. Whatever can get you more food.
It was massive. The videos I did see, like the portion sizes, it was like triple almost.
But
That's
you
what
have to
it looked
ask.
like.
You have to ask for cilantro.
Oh, you do?
They always go in the
that's
back.
good.
A lot of
They
people,
don't put it
because
up in the
it's-
front. So if you want cilantro, and they got that little,
Yeah.
they really grind it up. It's really good.
Because cilantro is
that
very
was already in there.
polarized. Some
it's not in the
people
right
just
place.
absolutely can't eat it. It tastes like soap to
Right.
them. They don't like
but they
it.
don't even put it in the line like the 4 choices:
Got
of
it.
cream,
Mm-hmm.
cheese.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They put them. I don't know why, but I'm like, right there. I
You're
want
gonna
that.
make me
No,
want
Like
this
your
for lunch.
snap, really,
I
you
do the
snap.
Ryan Chase. It works.
Let me ask y'all this.
No, I don't snap.
Should we care
If
that
you
the
snap,
portions
I'm
are
gonna
getting
trip
smaller
you.
because we're not supposed to
Do
be
not
eating that
snap
much
your
anyway?
fingers at anybody.
I don't do that.
Okay, wait. I'm going to say it again because
I know, sorry.
I
We
know
got distracted.
shrinkflation is where you're paying. I guess the argument is you're still paying for what you used to get, and it's a smaller portion. But technically, don't we complain how if we compared the portions of like the 80s and 90s to now, we're like gluttonous pigs?
But at least prices were cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
right.
mean,
Different
paying
time.
more for getting less. Nobody likes
We're
that.
getting so.
Also, I use mine for 2 meals. When I go
Yeah.
to Chipotle, like
Right,
I can
that's
only
2
eat one
meals.
half, and
Right.
then I
Like salada, my wife gets the wrap, and then she just eats half the
half
wrap.
of it.
But
I still have never
I feel
been
like
there.
Eat
You
a
never
salad.
salada?
Never been to
No.
I
Salada?
like Sammy Lee. We go to the mall.
Mark doesn't eat salads, but I guess they have other things.
No, it's just salad.
Nope.
Well,
This
how
is a
then?
wrap.
How does she get a wrap?
Because you can wrap the salad.
You
That's
wrap
what I
the-
do.
They put all the stuff.
Think of
and
like
then they pour it
grilled
on the-
chicken
and they
with
roll it.
lettuce and black
But then
beans.
you have to
can
put
get
it
a
in a wrap.
No,
No,
they put it in a wrap.
They
So
do
they
it.
have wraps.
They wrap it.
They have wraps.
It's a
just
salad wrap.
Yeah, because Mark doesn't like salad,
I
so
know
I've never
Kevin
been.
likes to go there and judge him. I don't know how you wrap. I don't know how you roll. He knows how to roll tight.
One hand.
Hold on. You know there are former and current Chipotle and Salada employees right now listening. I'm like, how long does it have to take you to training to be like, oh God, the
Learn how to
pressure of the
wrap
wrap, the pressure of the wrap without tearing the tortilla because
Oh
it's
yeah,
too fat.
then it pokes a hole through
It's
it.
too fat.
It's leaking.
I mean, there's a lot of pressure when there's something that you're doing right in front of the customer. When I was a server, there was a specific dish at my family's restaurant. You had to present it to the table and open it. It was like it was in a a foil like pillow. Think of like a pillow made of foil, and the fish was baked in there. So I had to present this to the customer and open it with a cocktail fork and a steak knife, and I had to roll it back and not touch anything. Right? It was so much pressure. I was dying every time I had to do it.
And then the steam comes out, and you're like, don't burn my arm.
No, but it was so good. And I remember I used to freak out when we were really busy. I would tell like the main like solid server that I always knew could do it like in 2 seconds. I go, please, can you just go to table 34 and open the Christie Sprite? I can't do it. It's too much pressure. It's too much pressure. Or like opening a bottle of wine in front of the customer with the one that has the regular wine opener that doesn't, you can't put on the table. You're holding it in your hand.
Right.
And you have to yank the cork. Too much pressure. I used to like bribe people. Like, I will give you $5 if you just please cover all my wine
I just bring my
bottles
electric wine opener.
Yeah.
I don't care if everybody starts.
So you gotta carry that around in your pocket of your apron?
I don't care.
It's worth it.
That's too much pressure.
wine opener?
Yeah.
They've got those.
Those are great.
Yeah, a lot of
Super
places.
nice.
Someone won't shut off. It just sits there vibrating. I'm like, why is this not shutting
Really?
off?
I just put mine back on the stand.
Oh, I don't have that fancy one. I tried that one. That one dies every 3 months. At
It
Costco,
does. You
Truth.
cannot find one.
The
that'll
rabbit one,
last.
the rabbit one. That's
Rip.
always. I always have to
Yeah.
return it. Thank God for Costco. They don't care.
Oh, should I try it then? I should go buy one from Costco?
Yeah,
Try it
If it doesn't work, they'll
Tuesday.
return
We
it.
went back to the original old school one. We're like, screw this thing. We're just going to keep losing
Yes.
$30 every
You're
3
gonna get
months.
stuck. You're gonna get stuck on there.
Manually unscrew that wine.
Buy cork.
It's stuck on the wine
That's it.
bottle.
With that big wine opener that people on TikTok go,
I love
"Get it,
that thing."
Get it,
Yeah.
get it,
Yeah,
get
get
it,
it.
get it. Looks like
Yes.
the arms are coming up. I love that
thing
thing.
is tried and true.
It's true.
Now,
Here we go.
time for the Roula and Ryan show on KRBE to tell you what's going down in H-Town.
Well, yesterday we got another big storm. Last night, like 317,000 people lost their power. Around
Just when the refrigerators got restocked again.
Yeah, around 100,000 people right now are without power in the Houston area. Montgomery County officials confirmed a construction worker was killed yesterday. He was a 16-year-old boy. He died in Montgomery County in a construction collapse.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so sad. Tuesday storms brought winds as fast as 75 miles per hour to Bush Airport, hail as large as golf balls. We had some pretty big hail where I live in JV, in Jersey Village. Like, they were hitting the window, and I was like, I thought it was going to break.
Whenever I see that, I always
That's
think
how
of
it
car
was where I asked you.
dealerships. I always think like,
yeah.
but they're like trying to
Hail
get all the
sale.
cars
All the
covered.
dents.
Hail sale. Hey,
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all noticed this before the weather turned. I remember going outside and because I looked through the window and it was still as anything. So I opened my back door and it was so quiet. Not one bird was chirping. Not one leaf was moving. I thought, oh God, this is so weird.
It's calm before the storm.
And then boom, here comes the wind and here comes the rain. I was like,
And the darkness.
oh no!
If you'd like
I
to
can
see,
get the bathroom again.
Producer Eric, I did stories on the whole thing. People even said I should be a weatherman. Because
All
I
of a sudden
curse
you're a
half the time.
meteorologist.
I'm like, look at that blank.
that would make the weather more fun.
Yeah,
The
but it doesn't.
TikTok weather.
The problem is when I filmed it, it was really dark, but it didn't show as darkly.
Did you see the
weird,
strange
right?
The camera
cloud?
it makes it lighter.
The clouds look so different. It was just really weird. I forget what you call those things.
Oh yeah, they look like little like kernel,
Little-
like popcorn kernels, or like,
Yeah.
like little
I forget, there's
pockets.
a word for that. I can't remember what it's called. But okay, so here's what happens. If you have a neighbor's tree fall in your yard, what do you do? Well, there's a big article in the Chronicle. It says one option is to contact your homeowners association if you live in a community that has one. There may be a restrictive covenant that would obligate your neighbor to act. Now, even if there is no such restriction, your HOA might be willing to contact that person and encourage them to address the situation. Another option is to offer to pay for a portion of the cost to remove the dead limb or, tree. And even if they say no, you have the legal right to remove the portions that are on your side of the property.
At your
So-
own expense.
At your own expense, exactly. Like we had my fiance, her neighbor's tree fell in the yard. The whole tree fell in our yard, and we just ended up having to, pay for the whole thing and have it removed because you don't want that gigantic thing. I mean, it was huge. It was like one of these 100 feet trees. And a lot of people, they had their food go bad because the refrigerator's without power, you may be able to recoup those losses up to $500 to replace it. And here's how you do it. You check your homeowner's or renter's insurance policy. You may be covered for up to $500 to replace it. So contact your insurance. If you're not covered for food spoilage, check your home warranty or apply to FEMA for assistance. And what were you saying earlier, Kevin, when we began the show?
Well, unfortunately, if FEMA believes you have enough insurance to cover it, then they will deny you. However, my insurance said, no, that's a pre-existing condition. We're not going to cover any kind of leaks whatsoever from this
that
storm.
sucks.
Doesn't that suck?
Yeah.
You pay all this money to insurance companies, and then when you
Maybe
actually
get that
need
fence
it,
hard
they don't
enough,
want to
Kevin.
give it.
Make it fall.
But my roofer was like, you have the actual worst insurance company known to man. So
I hope I
That's what
don't
you
have
get when you
that.
paid nothing.
you wanted it
I
this
hope I
way.
don't
You
have
wanted
that.
it this way.
What's it rhyme with? No.
Coming up next, That's Okay does have a robocall attempt.
Yes, yeah, it's karma, I guess. So what had happened was she has been waiting for her passport for 6 months now. I would love to help her out with that.
Oh, are you actually helping or are you hurting?
Oh,
We're
no.
going to find out next
Kick her
on the
right
Roula and
down.
Ryan Show.